Notebook LM just got a huge update. It's now called Gemini Notebook. You combine Gemini Notebook and AI Studio, and you have a content marketing machine. Let's go. Click on New Notebook in the sidebar, and then you're ready to go. We're going to be working on content marketing for the brand Meridian Attitudes Coffee. So we want to create new articles. In this video, we're going to cover how to create a new notebook, adding sources, deep research, how to do a mind map, generating video, a slide deck, other documents and spreadsheets, and finally, I'm going to show you how to export to AI Studio. Our first prompt is create a content marketing site for Meridian Attitudes Coffee that includes lifestyle articles that bring and welcome get-togethers and coffee with friends. All right. Then I click on Gemini Notebook. In there, you'll see the notebook that I've created, and it gives us all of these new features. One of the key things that you can do with Gemini Notebook is go in and do a web search on your behalf. That's not new, and neither is the option for deep research. But Gemini Notebook goes out and brings many more sources in than it did before. You can keep your searches broad, or you can scope them to very specific websites. One thing I wanted to point out is you've probably already done a lot of work in your chats, so you'll want to add those into Gemini Notebook too. Go, do a search in your chat. In this case, I'm searching for the keyword Meridian, and then you can click the three dots up in the top right corner and choose Add to Notebook. And in this case, I'm using the content marketing folder. Right? So bring in all of your pre-existing chats, the ones that are relevant to doing the research and ones that you want to shape your research. I've included a campaign from Meridian that I created before. I'm going to add that into the notebook. And there's one more chat that I wanted to add that includes the brand voice that I've created for Meridian Attitudes Coffee. In that one as well, I list out the personas, the individuals that we have details on that are our ideal customers. They're Priya and Hal, and there are a few others in there. Okay, so I've added that as well. I'll add the video that talks about creating brand voice documents in the description. Now, let's go into and make sure that we've added all those particular sources by clicking on Add Sources. You can sift through this particular list, or you can add them all in and see what it gives you. In this case, it shows a lot of different blogs and websites for very popular cafes. I'm going to add a prompt in now to create a summary of the topics that are generating the most views. Create a detailed report on successful brands and their approach to content marketing. And consider all aspects of what's made those particular brands successful in terms of sales. Okay. Once I've got that prompt, I create a video. I'm going to create a slide deck, and I'm going to create a mind map. All right, and we'll let those run and we'll try them out. But as you can see, there are other options there to create infographics or data tables, etc. In the mind map section, what we're going to take a look at is the best blogs and content topics relevant to coffee and coffee sales. So Gemini Notebook has gone out to the web and collected all this research bit of a competitive review, the marketing systems that they use as well, right? And I'm going to ask it as well to create a detailed report. While that's running, let's take a look at some of the additional features in Gemini Notebook. One of them is a mind map. And at first glance, you might think, well, what do I use a mind map for? Well, in this instance, what we could do is use it as a way in which to filter through all of this different research. What it's really giving you is a bunch of structured topics, and you can go in and choose the ones that are most relevant to you. Okay. Next up, I'm going to show you the video, just a short version of the video here.
The traditional paper punch card is a relic of tactile commerce. Buy 10 coffees and you get the 11th free. While it tracks a transaction, it creates a total data blind spot for the business. The owner has no way to know who you are, is even placed. This diagram shows how captured data is processed by AI to trigger automated, hyper-personalized email flows and targeted rewards. The measurable physical outcome is a 12% boost in same-store foot traffic. On the digital side, online subscription retention jumped by 40%. Hyper-personalization changes the business model by turning passive consumers into highly tracked, high-value, predictable revenue streams.
Let's leap back, and we're going to take a look at that strategic report again. This is the power of Gemini Notebook. It creates summaries of concepts that would have taken you days to kind of sift through all of these websites. Of course, you can go back and take a look at them, but this gives you a great summary of the competitors. It also gives you a summary of individual personas, your ideal customers that you may want to add in to your core set of customers that you're hoping to address. Okay. And one of the other ways that you can review this collected information is, and I've shown this before in other videos, I'll include that in the description, a slide deck that talks about all of the different things that it found. One of the key pieces, there are some similar concepts within the slide deck here, but the key piece that it found was that the taking a cafe and setting it up like an Apple Store approach, which I thought was really quite clever and something that could work really well as, in this case, Meridian Attitudes likely wants to expand their cafes. Okay, let's get back to this content marketing machine piece. We've got all this research. Now, what do we do with it from a marketing point of view? We want to use it as a content marketing machine. In this case, creating articles, lifestyle articles that will attract people not only to our website, but hopefully drive traffic to the stores through email marketing campaigns, blogs, and engaging them in the coffee experience. So here are 5 articles that it's come up with, and we're ready to make use of those. Behind the scenes, one of the key changes for Notebook LM is the fact that it not only delivers as MD files or just as text, but it leverages the different document formats. So you can create a docx and you can create an Excel. And what I want to do here is create a document that I can then share with my team. So you can click on the share button and determine who you're going to share that with. Okay. And one of the other things that you can do is you can go in and different types of reports. You can view the sources that it used. So the video, where did it get all those facts? It lists all the websites that it pulled those stats from. So it kind of summarizes them really well. And then if you need to go back to original sources, you can. So Notebook LM really, in its new incarnation as Gemini Notebook, allows you to work in the space, create documents, and share them right from there. In taking a look at the Excel document, it came up with 15 different titles. Not only that, it also included which persona we want to target for those particular uh, articles, whether that's Marcus, Priya, Hal, and also what the key concepts it would be addressing are. All right. So we've covered off these core features within in Gemini Notebook. But one of the things that you might want to do then is take those articles and take the additional step of creating your own content marketing site. I've shown a video of that where you're building that out with Claude Code. And also I've shown some demos with Gemini. But I wanted to show how quickly you could do this in Google AI Studio with this very simple prompt. We can create a content marketing website and I generate a PDF of that content, those 5 articles, and I'm going to upload that into AI Studio. And then you can move ahead and have AI Studio build out that entire site, and then you can vet that particular site. So, another way to put it is that Claude Design allows you to create this kind of front end HTML. But in the Gemini world, if you just had a Gemini subscription, you could do this in Gemini AI Studio. Let's see the result. Okay, it's selecting and suggesting this particular design. I'm going to go ahead with that. And we've also asked it to expand upon this. So, what's amazing is AI Studio went out, created an additional newsletter, it created an additional section for chat, and a whole website around the context. Right? So it's not just articles standing out there on their own. This is a full functioning website that can be deployed. And in fact, if you are starting from scratch, you can hit the publish button and publish it directly from AI Studio and have it set up a URL for you. Right? It's even gone in and it's created widgets in the context of, how do you brew your coffee? How long will it take? How hot does that water need to be before you are going into brew mode? So having coffee as more of a social concept, right? Hosting a 15-minute coffee social as an example. Now, you may think that this is just a static site, but it isn't. AI Studio functions very much like Claude Design. So those individual elements can then be selected and edited. For example, one of the menu items there, you could go in and tweak those, right? It's responsive HTML automatically out of the gate. So I can go in and take a look at and view that. I can share this code as well. As I mentioned, I can publish it and take a look at my version history if in fact I made any edits. Okay. Furthermore, I can integrate with and share this with a number of different tools. So if I wanted to share this link on the Drive or on Gmail, I can do that. If I want to share it and put it in a GitHub repository, I could also do that. And again, if you wanted to change any of the different elements, click on the edit button in the top right, make those changes as you need. Right? And as you click on those different ingredients, they show up in the chat on the bottom left. So I can edit any of the text if I didn't feel it landed right. So instead of dossier, I'm just going to change it to the easy word articles. And also for Meridian Attitudes, I just want to be more specific and say it's Meridian Attitudes Coffee. Okay, but you can go in, take these different ingredients, move them about, and or edit that particular text. And one of the other interesting things here, and it delves into it just as well as Claude Design, is I can click on code, and if I needed to make edits here, I could go in and do that. So if I'm a designer, or if I know how to edit HTML, go in, make those tweaks as needed. So go and try out all the new features of not only Gemini Notebook, but also take a look at AI Studio, and soon you'll realize that these two AIs, when put together, create an amazing content marketing machine. This is Frank from Obelisk, and I'll see you in the next one. We're here to save you marketing dollars with AI.